So we are in beautiful downtown Houston. We are honoring Dr. Martin Luther King. We're keeping the legacy of Dr. King and TWU alive.
When I think of Martin Luther King, I think of integrity. I think of character. He wasn't in Memphis for one of our marches. He was in Memphis for a union strike. So I feel like we're continuing that. Here we are now. We're marching for MLK.
For 91 years, the ideals of Michael J. Quill and the TWU have helped chart the course of American history. They stood as a champion of workplace equality and have tirelessly fought against discrimination, laying the groundwork for transformative victories across the transportation industry.
The TWU and Dr. King actually share a very similar history. Our founder, Michael Quill, was fighting against all forms of discrimination.
From humble beginnings in the midst of the Depression and an 84-hour work week, Quill engaged the IRT's Black workers, often relegated to the lowest paid porter roles, securing their overwhelming support. This pivotal success shattered racial barriers in New York City transit, creating opportunities for Black workers, including 12 members of the Tuskegee Airmen. In 1941, the TWU proudly backed Reverend Adam Clayton Powell's Harlem bus boycott, breaking the color barrier for Black bus operators like Olympic gold medalist Ed Flash Gordon Jr. Whether advocating for equal pay for women transit workers in New York, opposing racial injustice in Philadelphia, championing Black transit workers in Houston, and dismantling Jim Crow practices in Miami, TWU's legacy of leadership was expanding nationwide.
The job I hold as a bus operator was a predominantly white man job.
My dad started working here in 1949.
The right to work states at that particular time. Lower wages, just not good working conditions, a lot of safety hazards as well.
All the discrimination that was going on across public transit and in the airline industry disappeared with Quill in terms of a structure of racism. Quill fought against it. We carry that legacy on today.
He stood for everyone, regardless of your race, your gender. He felt like everyone should have a fair wage, a fair opportunity for a job.
TWU Local 260 organized in '49. My dad was in the first class of Black operators to ever drive for Metro in 1961.
Unions typically brought about higher wages, better working conditions, and better benefits.
Then when he got a job as a bus driver, we was able to get a house with air conditioning and a new car.
That same year, 1961, the ideals of Michael Quill and the TWU met the ideals of Martin Luther King.
When you say Martin Luther King, it brings back memories of, his fight for people like me.
We will be able to work together, to pray together.
Martin Luther King represents equity, represents fairness, represents treating everyone as one human race. One thing about Martin Luther King that some people might not know about is he also was an advocate for unions.
I don't think that he realized that when he shook Michael J. Quill's hand, the immense impact that he would have on racial justice and labor rights.
Dr. King. Martin Luther King was asked to speak at an early convention of the TWU.
There are more ties of kinship between labor and the Negro people.
At the time, that was quite unheard of. There was not many Black leaders who were invited to speak at conventions or any labor functions.
Michael Quill joined the ranks of Dr. King in the eternal fight for civil rights.
And I never forget that speech that he gave at the Washington Monument. I have a dream.
I have a dream today.
He had the dream, and I'm living his dream. Without Dr. King, I probably wouldn't be in the position I'm in now.
Not only was it just about minorities, but it was also about workers' rights and women's rights.
The TWU was like a rainbow full of diversity of workers.
Look at the folks around me. That is what we represent. Actually, you are looking at America. This is Dr. King's dream.
Every MLK Day, TWU continues Dr. King's legacy through community service from every local nationwide.
The TWU's history has been one of inclusion and civil rights, and that's why we actually do our own event. We want to make sure that we are leaders in the Human and Civil Rights Department.
Get your members, make donations, pick a spot, and give back.
We serve the community, and so we want to be able to give back to the community that we serve.
Ladies and workers of America, happy Martin Luther King Day!
True societal equality begins in the community and continues in the workplace. The TWU carries Dr. King's legacy forward, organizing marginalized workers, safeguarding voting rights, and upholding our unwavering commitment to equality, ensuring that we are and always will be at the forefront of the continuing fight for justice.
I think the civil rights movement is so important to the TWU because the TWU is only concerned about advancing workers' causes, making sure workers, regardless of who they are and what they look like or where they came from, do better and better for themselves and their family.
It doesn't matter if it's 1961 or 2025, unions will always be relevant.
You know, Dr. King had a lot of odds against him, but he didn't let that stop him. And that's how I am.
The bottom line to it is the TWU is a fighting union. We fight for our members. The TWU has always fought for their members.
As long as there's a TWU, Martin Luther King legacy will continue.
Michael Quill would be extremely proud. I think that he'd be right out in front, right along with us, probably shouting the loudest.